Hey guys, my name's Ben Howard. Today we're out here at Linville Hills to check out the Innova Animal. This is one that kind of flew under the radar for me. I remember when these were first released, and I remember not hearing a single thing about them. So these were kind of a flop for Innova, I would say. But as y'all also would probably know from my channel, I really love weird discs. And this is a pretty weird one because, as you can tell, it's got a ton of dome to it. It's got like a little micro bead, and it's got like the pig's groove track. Not only is it shaped weird, but it also has a pretty weird flight. It reminds me of a Berg, whereas it has like no glide at all, and has a little bit of overstability to it, but it's not really something you would throw in like headwinds or, I mean, you can throw this on a forehand, but it's pretty touchy. But from what I have thrown of it, I really like it a lot. The groove track feels pretty good, forehand and backhand, and like I said, it's got a really nice Berg-esque flight. So if you want to win one of these, I'm going to be doing a giveaway at the end of the video. Also, I'm going to throw both of these off of every tee. And if I get an ace today, I'm going to double it and give one of these to 2 people in the comments. So stay tuned for that, but let's go and get in the video. All right guys, so we're on hole 1. This one's a par 3, 177 feet. You can see the basket straight ahead. Typically I go with like a forehand just to make the gap a little bit bigger, but I think I'm just going to throw these flat and try and come in on the right side of this tree. This isn't one I'm trying to get the ace on because it's really difficult to get up there for the ace, but see how close we can get these. So low. They give it more height. There we go. Didn't get it around there, but oh yeah. You can see it's got like a nice amount of dependable overstability. So like I can trust it on a little bit of anhyzer. I don't remember if I've actually thrown these on a forehand or not. So I'm gonna be curious to see if maybe I was wrong about them not being very torque resistant. I never have actually putted with these either, so I'm gonna be curious to see how they putt. Nope, good grief. All right guys, we're on hole 2. This one's par 3, 120 feet, just right there. I'm gonna go ahead and try these on a forehand, see how well they work. I'm gonna try and just keep them on some hyzer, try and be smooth with them. So obviously I don't need to throw it very far, but mainly just trying to make sure I don't turn these over or roll my wrist. Okay. See, it kind of flipped up a little bit, but not a lot. But it definitely doesn't have as much torque resistance as I've seen out of some Bergs. Let's try this again. Ooh, yeah, that one flipped a lot. So yeah, not really what you're looking for out of like a forehand disc, unless you're looking for just like a really touchy, slow disc, I guess. Aw, dang. All right guys, we're on hole 3, 169 feet. Only thing to really worry about is there's a drop off behind the basket, so it's pretty easy to go like circle's edge long on this hole if you're not careful. So this kind of replicates a shot you would throw these discs for. So let's see how hard I need to throw them to get them there without having them go long. Yeah, I threw that pretty smooth. It looked like it kind of scooted a little long, but it probably won't be crazy long. We've also got a little bit of a headwind, so I'm curious to see how that affects these. Sit down. Yeah, I don't think either one of them really went too far, but I'll be curious to see where they are. And let's see, yeah, that's the first one I threw. This one was the second. And even though I threw them at different heights, they both landed about the same distance from the basket, and neither one of them went very far. So yeah, you can definitely see there where they had just kind of like a Berg, just have no glide. And once they get to that point of where they would fade, a lot of times they're just dropping instead of actually fading. All right guys, we're on hole 4. It's 114 feet, slightly elevated. So I'm actually going to try and run this basket a little bit more aggressively than I have the last few holes. So I'll be curious to see, even with like an elevated pin and we're trying to ace run this, how far past we go. fade. Ah, I had such good height. Yeah, I got a little bit of turn out of it. I don't know if I'm kind of pulling them over on a little bit of anhyzer, like subconsciously, or if that's that headwind that's making them turn. I'm gonna try and make sure I throw this one a little bit of hyzer out to the right. Ah, it's so low. Okay, so I actually ended up pretty close to the basket considering I was trying to ace run it. Typically, if I throw like a glidey putter, this is about where I'll end up, or honestly, I'll probably go past the path most of the time. So the fact that it only stayed, I'm like, maybe edge of circle, like it's pretty good. So let's see if we can make this putt. Ah, dang. Almost. All right, guys, we're on hole 5. This one's 179 feet, going slightly uphill, so it plays a little bit farther than that. And we're playing into like a little bit of a headwind, so I don't know if I'm really going to be able to get these there, but we'll see. Ooh. Oh, that definitely had the distance. Huh. I'll definitely go back through and look at the footage because I don't know if I'm accidentally just pulling them over on a little bit of anhyzer, or if if they're just flipping a little bit right out of my hand or something. Feels weird. Let's try this one, see if it says the same thing. That's better. Drop in? Ooh, almost. There you go. I don't know how I keep ending up behind these trees. Ah. Now we're on hole 6. It's 120 feet. You can see the basket up here between these two trees. I'm just gonna try a little backhand turnover with these. We're going into a headwind, so I gotta be careful. Just trying to make sure I don't burn them over or anything like that, but should be a perfect shot for these two. Ah. I hate it when I do that. I do that sometimes on anhyzers, where like I mean to throw it here, but I'm aiming at the basket, so I end up just throwing it straight at the basket. I gotta pick up my aiming point out here and then let it bend to the right. That's much better. I feel like I threw that second one softer, so that might be why it faded out a little bit more, but yeah, it might just be that one of them's more overstable than the other. You can see though, like if I threw any other putter like that, I would have gone way left. But because these things kind of have that berg flight, they just kind of drop, even on putts, which is super nice. Because any other putt would have been like 15, 20 feet, but that's say like 5 feet from the basket. All right, guys, we're on hole 7, 126 feet. So I think the dark orange one is the one that's a little bit more straight. So I'm gonna throw that one here, just try and throw it flat, just to the left side of the basket and see how it flies. I gave it some hyzer, but even though I gave it some hyzer, it didn't really fade that much. Now for the light orange one, which I think is more overstable, I'm gonna give it some anhyzer out to the left again, see how it flies. Yeah, that one actually came out of it. You can see it there. It actually wanted to fade, whereas the first one didn't even fade when I threw it on hyzer. Come on. Oh, dang. Yeah, nasty roll too. Hopefully I'm still in frame. All right, guys, we're on hole 8. 123 feet. You see the basket straight ahead. It's actually probably level with us because it's elevated and we're going downhill. So another perfect shot for these. I'm just gonna throw them out to the right. I'll probably throw one through the split trees, but I don't want to try that for my first shot. So let's see how it does off to the right. Oh boy. Oh, I actually got the height right, which feels like we also got some right to left wind, so it kind of helped, I guess. All right, through the tree. Oh, well, I got through the tree. So hopefully you can still hear me. I don't know if I'm outside the range of the mic or not, but it's probably the first time we've been in circle 2 all day. So let's see if we can get this there. Oh no, that was terrible. All right guys, we're on hole 9, final hole of the video. 81 feet. Not only our best chance at an ace, but our last chance for this video. Let's see what we can do. I think I just need to go stand still, honestly. Oh, it dropped. Dang, that was perfectly on line. All right, same thing, give it more height. No, I dropped again. Dang it. Oh, those are both so good. All right, guys, that finished up our round out here with the animal. I'm pretty happy with how this flew today. I think what I was doing is I was accidentally throwing this on just a little bit of Anheuser out of the hand a lot of times, just because I was thinking, oh, this isn't going to go as far as I'm needing it to, when in reality, I could probably throw this 200 feet flat. So that was definitely a little bit of user error on my part, but I was really surprised to see how little glide this actually does have. Because, I mean, you know, a lot of times when people talk about bergs or whatever other disc you could think of, they talk about the idea of like, oh, this doesn't even really go that far. Like, I can throw it as hard as I want to and only go blah, blah, blah distance. When in reality, like, this probably only cuts out probably about 20 feet of distance, because what this disc does and the berg does is that they'll push, 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 but once they start to fade, instead of actually fading, they drop, which you could definitely see on a lot of holes out here where, like, instead of going, you know, 50 feet past the basket or 50 feet left of the basket, I was only going like 30 feet, 20 feet at most. Because like I said, on hole 8, that was the only hole I ended up outside of circle. So I definitely recommend this for people looking for just like that little bit of like a approach disc, like cheat code almost, where it's just going to help you with your distance control and your speed control and keep you from making those mistakes of like throwing long on a lot of holes. And like you could see, this is also a pretty nice putting putter. I wouldn't recommend these just because they're a little domey for me, but like I've seen some other ones that are in some more base plastics that are actually like kind of flat and feel pretty good. So you could definitely use this as a putting putter, and kind of the same thing. Like, you can run putts and not really have to worry about going long as much as if you're trying to throw a glidey putter. But obviously it's also going to fall out of the sky like a brick. So it's going to make putting a little bit more difficult. So sadly I wasn't able to get the ace today with either one of these. So I'm just going to be giving away one of these to one of y'all in the comments. In order to get into the giveaway, I need y'all to go down, like, subscribe. And then tell me, do you have a disc like this in your bag that's a Berg clone or something like that, and why or why not? And if you have a preference between which one of these two you get, let me know in the comment as well. I'll pick one of y'all out in a week or whatever date I put up right here. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. So thank y'all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and y'all have a good one.